Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Battlefield 4 multiplayer on the GeForce GTX 1050, 2GB for FPS monitoring. I'll be using CAM. If you want to download this software, there's a link down in the description. And if you want to purchase any of the parts featured in this build and support the channel, there are Amazon affiliate links down in the description too. So Battlefield 4 multiplayer, I'll be doing 1080p, 900p, 1440p and 4K, using both a G4560 and an i5 7400. To skip any of those sections of the video, check the description below. First of all, I have to clarify some things. This is the map that I had the most issues with performance-wise, both on the CPU and GPU. If you know a more demanding map of those two components on the CPU and GPU, please let me know down in the comments so I can investigate further on that for future Battlefield 4 videos. You'll also see on the bottom left corner of the video that there's a graph. That's something that can be enabled from a console command on this game. That should give you an idea when a stutter happens. When you'll see that the graph spikes, that means that the frame time is quite variable. Frame times are the time that a frame stays on screen before going to the next one. Imagine that the first frame stays on screen 13.3 milliseconds and then the next frame stays on screen 53.3 milliseconds. You'll see a stutter there, since a frame will stay a very short time on screen and the next one will stay much longer. That shouldn't be the case. It should be a consistent frame time. This should give you an idea if the game is stuttering or not, just by looking at the graph. The frame rate could be fine on the FPS counter, but the frame time is a totally different universe from that, since you can have an idea on how consistent the game is. That's why I added that on the bottom left corner of the video. In this game it's pretty accurate, since it's from the engine itself. So first on 1080p, I'll show you the maximum settings without keeping in mind MSAA. I'll turn that off since I got drops below 60 with that enabled. But on this map you'll notice that on some parts where there are cars on fire with a lot of smoke coming out from them, it's a very huge hit to the GPU. They'll make the game drop below 60 frames per second. In those cases, on heavy smoke, it will be the fault of the GPU for saying it some way. It will just peak to 99%. And that won't allow us to get 60 frames per second on 1080p. But on some other cases, like on top of rooftops, looking down on places with a lot of detail in them, or just a lot of players exploding stuff at once, you'll see that the game might drop below 60, but in that case the GPU usage won't be at 99%, it will probably be below 90%, but the CPU usage will be quite high. That means that the CPU is a limiting factor in those cases. On the places with a lot of smoke that kill the frame rate, that there are few in this map, just lower effects to low, and that should help you to get a more consistent frame rate. Then on 900p, I just cranked up the settings to ultra with 2 times MSAA. You'll see that I will be over 60 frames per second with some drops every now and then, just like on 1080p, as I explained a second ago. I avoided 720p since it was pretty much the same as 900p. The CPU was the limiting factor. But if you want to use 720p, there are no issues whatsoever. Just expect similar performance to what you see on 900p if you have the same CPU. Then I'll switch to 1440p, and there I'll show you a 60 frames per second configuration, and then I'll just crank up the settings to ultra without MSAA for a frame rate target below 60 frames per second, just quality versus performance if you want to use that. And then at 4K I had to lower everything to the minimum except in textures, which I left on high, and you'll see that I'm struggling to maintain 30 frames per second on some places due to many explosions and effects. I recommend just avoiding 4K and sticking to 1080p Ultra or 1440p medium. And at the end of the video you'll see that the i5 7400 has a more consistent frame rate than the Pentium. But when there are many tanks fighting at once, you'll see that the frame times get kinda crazy. That seems to be normal with this game. It was a very bad PC version when it released back in the day. It was fixed a ton across all this time. Now it runs much better, but there are still some small issues with the performance, as you can see on the frame times, but it's not that bad actually. It's much better than on release, I can assure you that. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
neutralized objective Bravo. We've lost objective Delta. Enemy missile inbound.
There's your med kit. Pick it up.
Enemy helicopter has been spotted down the Spotted a hostile boat just east of your location. I've spotted an enemy machine gunner east of your current position. Heads up, there's a hostile tank east of your position.